And if I have to tell you again, we're going to take it outside and I'm going to show you what it's like. You understand me? Now shut your mouths or I'll shut them for you. And if you think I'm kidding, just try me. Try me. Because I would love it.
That was from Brendan Steele. Big fan of Seinfeld. 866-469-0026 on this Monday on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio, beaming across the breadth and width of North America and beyond. Welcome, one and all. Hope it's a good Monday for you. I know it was a good week for Brendan Steele. Finished in a tie for 6 when it was all said and done. 5 under par, the final mark that he finished upon. Multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. In a good season so far, 7 top 25s, 4 top 10s in the season that we in. He's joining us from somewhere. Brendan, how you doing? It's Matty.
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me, Matt, and thanks for leading me in with the opposite there with George Costanza. That was great.
I thought you'd like that. Did you ever hear? Yeah, he even knows the opposite. Do you know that the story was behind that? Did you ever hear of how that whole line was delivered and why?
No, I didn't hear.
Dom, you got to tell Brendan the whole thing about when what was his name? Jason Alexander was reading the script. He was like, "How do I act this? No, this would never happen." Tell him what happened.
We can do this quickly, Brennan. You know, Larry David was heavily involved in the program,
He wrote it. Yeah.
and George is essentially based on Larry David. So Jason Alexander was having issues with that scene, and he went in to see Larry and said, the scene in the movie theater where he's yelling, he's like, "This doesn't make any sense. Like, this would never happen to anybody,
Yeah.
And even if it did, nobody would respond like that." And Larry said, "What are you talking about? It happened to me, and that's what I did."
Oh, that's classic.
Classic Larry David, classic Seinfeld.
Take you outside and show you what it's like. So what's going on with you, Brendan Steele? You seem to be on song. Everything is working. You know, is it age? Is it the fact that you've reached this stride in your life and your career with what you're working on? What's the recipe?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things. I think it's just a lot of different pieces coming together. It's kind of hard to pinpoint, but I've done a lot of work over the last 5 years with Rick Smith on my golf swing, and while it may not look that much different, it's kind of unique to me, and a lot of people I know don't like it, but it's somewhat workable for the PGA Tour. I hit a lot of good shots these days, and then I've done a lot of work with Chris Mason over the last couple of years on my short game, and that's been a big area of improvement. I went down to see him with the putter change. I was a long putter guy until 2014 and wanted to get a little jump on that. So he really helped me with that. And then we started working on a bunch of short game, and currently I think number 1 in scrambling on tour, which was never one of my best stats. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons for the success.
All right, I got to break this down in pieces because you just gave us so much stuff there. First of all, relative to the putting in the short game, are there specific things you can reference, or do you want to reference with us? I mean, obviously you reveal
Sure.
what you want to in terms of what you worked on, because I think that benefits people when they hear it and they go, "Hey, I can do that too."
Yeah, for sure. With the change from the belly putter to the short putter, I really wanted to just make everything as simple as possible. And so we tried to just get my setup really good and to come up with some drills to do. We spend a lot of time on a string which is just a piece of string in between 2 knitting needles, and try to find a straight putt or even putts with some break, but you line it up where the break point is and roll it back to about 10 or 12 feet and just stroke the putts down the string from all different lengths, and
Wow.
make sure that your strokes kind of going up and down the string. We try to go pretty much straight back and straight through it. We'll have a little bit of arc as it gets longer, but you just make sure you're starting the ball on the line. So I start every day with that and kind of end every day with that, and it keeps you from getting too far off.
When you said earlier, you're talking about your swing and how you've been working out with Rick, and you said some people don't like it, whatever. What were you? Why would you say that? What were you referring to? What does that mean?
I get a hard time for how ugly my swing is all the time on social media and stuff. In
What?
this day and age, everybody's got an opinion about everything. So
You
I've
better
got
take
a very
them
strong
outside and
grip.
show what it's like.
Yeah, right. Well, I've got a very strong grip. I get the club kind of behind me and long, and then but I'm able to get it back to the ball in a good enough way that I can play very well and consider myself to be a pretty good ball striker. So it's a little bit more like I'm never going to look like Adam Scott swinging the club, but the results are pretty good.
The playing well at the Players Stadium course, do you have to make amends with the golf course? Do you have to like it, or do you just channel some type of pattern, some type of play, some type of strategy to do well there?
Oh gosh, probably a little bit of everything. I mean, I haven't had a ton of success there. I had only made the cut twice out of 6 tries before this week. So it had not been my favorite place. And last year I shot 65 in the opening round and thought I was onto something, and then ended up shooting 3 rounds in the mid 70s after that and finishing 60th or something. So it can jump up and bite you really quick. And I felt like my game was really good to start the week. I was really excited to get going and played really solid on Thursday and Friday and felt very comfortable and felt like I knew what I was doing out there strategy-wise and everything. And then when Saturday came around, the wind picked up a little bit more, and I got off to kind of a rough start and got really uncomfortable really fast. And it just doesn't take much out there to get into some bad places. I was hitting a couple good shots that ended up being bogeys and doubles, and then you start getting a little gun shy and worried about what you're doing and how your strategy is coming into play on the weekend. And so I was a little uncomfortable Saturday, and then got really comfortable again yesterday, and was able to kind of get back into the mode that I was in on Thursday and Friday.
How do you explain the way you feel standing on the tee on a Sunday, late on a Sunday at that, on the par 3 17th, compared to any other time in your life or in your playing career?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really a tough shot. It's actually, if there was grass around it, or if it was anywhere else, and you probably wouldn't worry about it quite as much because there's a big enough landing area there that you should be able to hit the green. But you get a little bit of adrenaline going, you get a little bit of wind going, you get some nerves going, and all of a sudden that area shrinks with all of those factors. And so it's one of the most nerve-wracking shots you can have. And then the shot off of 18T is just as bad too. So you've got 2 really high-stress shots back-to-back right at the end of the round. And I played with JB Holmes Thursday and Friday this week, and we were kind of joking about it because we played the back 9 first on Friday, and we got through those holes, and we were coming around and making a couple birdies on the front. And I said to him, it's kind of nice to play it this way. You kind of know how your day is going to go before the last 2 holes, So, and he's like, man, that's a great way to put it. You don't have to wait to the last 20 minutes of the round to find out if you're going to have a good day or not.
Are you a believer, Brendan Steele, in fate? Do you kind of early on get a vibe for a particular round and say this is the way this day is going to play out?
I do get a vibe for the round a lot of the time. I'm trying to battle through that stuff and make it a little bit more like I'm in control of it. I'm in control of how I feel, at least. Maybe not in control of the result, but I felt like on Saturday it just wasn't going to be a very good day, and it wasn't a very good day. So I'm trying to get rid of that kind of stuff. And yesterday I felt like it was going to be a good day, and it was. So I'm not really sure why. I didn't do anything different. My prep was the same. I felt good about every part of my game all 4 days, but I got 3 good rounds and then one poor round. So I'm not really sure why that happens, but I'm trying to get better at it, and I'm trying to be a little bit more in control of my emotions and my self-talk and belief in my game.
All right, don't be politically correct with me on this. Just give me your straight opinion on it. What grade are you going to give the 12th hole?
C.
What needs to be done?
They need to flatten out the front center part, or front left center part, where you can run the ball into the green and it won't go into the water. It's close to being a good hole, but it's not a good hole. So they can fix it, and I think they probably will fix it. I think they got the same feedback from everybody. You can hit a really good shot and have it go in the water. And I don't think that's the way that they wanted it. I think they wanted it to be an exciting hole and a hole that a lot of guys went for. I think that's why they set it up, because they really set it up playing short this week. They could have set it up 50, 60 yards further back. But they wanted a bunch of guys to go for it, and guys aren't going to go for it if you can hit a good shot and have it go in the water. The water's close enough to the green that if it wasn't kicking into the water from the center of the green, guys would still hit it in there, and they'd be aggressive and be trying to make a 2 or at least an easy 3. And the bailout to the right isn't very good anyway, so I think it'd be a great hole if they just flatten that part out.
How about the fact that Siwoo Kim coming in was, 205th strokes gained off the tee, a start of the tournament. He was second in that category through the run of it this past week. Talk about flipping a switch, winning by 3 strokes, and I know it speaks to the depth of the PGA Tour, but that is quite remarkable.
Yeah, very remarkable. I mean, I've played with Siwoo a few times this year, and his golf swing looks great, and he was hitting some shots that just didn't make sense. And so I know he's been working hard on it, and he's been really good with the short game, as we saw this week. But I've seen that in playing with him this year, and so I mean, it's surprising just in the sense that his stats weren't kind of trending towards a victory. But I mean, he's obviously got the talent, and he played amazing, so he earned every bit of that. And it does definitely speak to the depth of the tour. And while you do have the top guys that have won, 3 times this year, Dustin Johnson and Justin Thomas, and a lot of the big names that have won, you've got a lot of guys that can win every time they tee it up, and we're seeing that more and more. Interesting.
Before we let you, where are you, by the way? What airport are you in?
I'm in Houston Airport. I left Jacksonville at 5:45 this morning, so it's been an early day already.
Are you going to get any rest this week? Are you playing?
I'm off for 2 weeks, so
okay.
So life is good right now.
That is good. All right, so tell us about what equipment you're using and what sponsors you've aligned yourself with. Let's spread some love there, too.
Yeah. So I'm a Wilson guy,
Yes, sir.
been for the last few years, and they've just been a great company to work with. They're having me get involved a little bit more into the design process, so we're working on a new blade that will probably come out hopefully sometime next year. I'm a kind of a traditional blade guy, and when you think of a traditional blade, Wilson is the company, So for me, that was a pretty cool brand to be aligned with, and to have a little bit of say into what they do. I told them I'm just trying not to mess it up, So so they've been great, and I've had a lot of fun with those guys. And I'm wearing Dunning clothing for the last few years as well, and they've been a fantastic supporter of mine, and been a lot of fun with them. Make a great clothing. Really kind of fits my personality. It's I think stylish, but not too flashy, and really nice materials and stuff. And then Putnam and Wheels Up have been really good corporate sponsors of mine. So Putnam is we do a lot of dinners all over the country, and I get to meet a lot of their clients and a lot of their employees, and they always take really good care of me. And then Wheels Up is really helpful to get in between tournaments, jump around a little bit from places that wouldn't be easy to get to. That's kind of how I use them, and it makes it really easy for me.
Brendan Steele, it's great to see the run that you're on. May it continue, and you can accomplish all the things that you have set out for goals this year. Mostly thank you for the time that you've spent with us this morning. It was great to chat again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I always appreciate it.